I just saw Matt Walsh's Am I Right? First impressions of the movie. Zach saw it with me. Zach is a huge fan of Matt Walsh. You listen to Matt Walsh almost every single day.
You don't gotta out me like that, man.
And I appreciate Matt Walsh. I think What Is a Woman was definitely needed. I think this movie was actually definitely needed. But I may not have the typical conservative just glazing this movie as if it's all perfect.
Wow.
I may not have that take, so you guys may not like that about me, okay? But why don't you start with your impressions of the movie?
As a Matt Walsh fan, and I feel like I need to clarify for my Democratic folks out here.
You're white.
I'm far right teetering. I'm just kidding. I'm not far right teetering, but I generally agree with most of his takes and like to see his extreme takes. Like, it's almost humorous. So I think there is utility in that. But if you feel like you have,
from an entertainment standpoint,
yeah, if you feel like you have to agree with every single thing someone says, Matt Walsh is not the guy. Like, I disagree with a lot of things he says, but I'm also like, this is pretty funny because most of the stuff I lean towards.
Yeah, like I think like the why does Ariel have to be black? It's like cringe, unnecessary takes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like some of that stuff just goes over the top for me. And we talked about this before.
He does do humorous stuff though in a satirical way that looks serious, such as he reacted to the NFL player who was going on about racism, ex-NFL player, and he was like, I'm better than all the white guys in the NFL, whatever. And then he went on for probably about 5 minutes, Matt Walsh, explaining how he wants to take that NFL player up on the idea where they can have a white versus black game. And that sounds absolutely awful. It's a bad take, but he was doing it out of jokes. He was comparing the lineups. It was funny. It's not serious by any means. So with that lens on, I enjoy Matt Walsh.
Yeah. And by the way, I would love to talk to Matt Walsh. My man Zuby I bumped into Zuby at the airport in Nashville. We had a layover, and he was just with Matt Walsh. Yeah. So I would love to talk to Matt Walsh. I'm not on no like, oh my gosh, he's too conservative. He's too far. I don't think that at all.
Too risky.
I don't think that at all. I brought on Joe Webbin.
We might be too risky for them.
Yeah, seriously. So not at all. Not at all. Go ahead.
So my thoughts of the film, it was really hyped up. And I think that
chill. They're gonna come for you. They're gonna come for you in the comments.
It was really, really hyped up. And there was parts I loved, and then there was parts I did not like, and the border on maybe ruined it for me.
Ooh, ruined it for you?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if anything would. I don't know if anything would ruin it for me. Let me.
Okay.
Before Zach, jumps off the deep end and makes all the Daily Wire users hate us. I liked the film. Overall, I think it was a great film. I think it exposes the utter lunacy from the far left. That is absolutely necessary to expose the utter lunacy from the left. I think the premise, setup, conversations, awkwardness, tension, great storytelling, all of that was really good. I think generally speaking, it's a good film. I think on a macro scale, and this might shock some of you guys, but I want to support conservative films. Like Daily Wire getting this in theaters, I'm going to support it. Just like just like we've supported and done meetups around Chosen launches. Yeah. Just like I'm going to go see the greatest Christmas pageant ever.
Yeah.
By Dallas Jenkins, right? So I have zero qualms. I think this is necessary. Like in the grand scheme, this is a huge net positive. We need this. We need more of this. We need more of these films being made. We need people funding them.
I'm supporting the movie regardless.
Yes.
Like it's a good movie and it's needed. And so regardless of like the nitty-gritty film critic stuff, it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me tell you some of my highlights of the film, the things I really liked.
I like this idea. This is more structure.
That Robin DiAngelo conversation was gold. That was pure gold.
Yeah.
I felt like it was so uncomfortable watching her interact with his black producer. Yeah. I don't want to spoil it for folks who haven't seen it, but it was, oh my gosh, that was great.
And I will say that the premise of like, let me be even more left-leaning on this issue than the most left-leaning people is really funny.
Yes.
So making Robin DiAngelo kind of like, I'm not going to spoil it, but explain away certain things and like create like, well, there's nuance to this situation is really funny. But
when Matt was more far left than Robin DiAngelo.
Yes.
And if you guys don't know who Robin DiAngelo is, she's kind of like, I mean, they called it like the Bible for white people in the movie, which was cringe.
yeah.
Because she put
wrote
out
the book.
white fragility,
White
which is poison. Like what she does is poison. What Kim D does is poison.
Yeah.
Like a lot of this stuff is just completely awful. The Joe Rogan rightfully pointed out the mansplaining part.
Oh, so funny.
So gold.
He had her explain what mansplaining was.
Yes.
And then he said, no, I don't think that's what it is. What it is? And he goes on to mansplain her, and
Yeah.
it just cut to her face like, are you for real?
And he asks her what mansplaining is and then mansplains what mansplaining is to her, which was phenomenal. It was great. This is like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Yeah, and I think the character he plays is brilliant because this is like this thing that he just does, and it's just so crazy that like it's him, but it's not him.
Yeah.
And the method acting, I think, is really impressive. That scene where they're at the workshop and they all find out who he is, and then he comes back and he's like, whoa, it's kind of like Borat.
What's your name? He's like, Steven.
Yeah, Steven. Yeah. He like forgot his name. It's kind
So
it's
dumb.
Yes,
It's so like
yeah. It's kind of like Borat, except it's Matt like attempting to go on this whole process, right?
Yeah.
No. What is a Woman was a massive success. They just had it behind their paywall on Daily Wire Plus.
probably arguably not bigger, but just as good, if not better, depending
Yeah.
which topic you're more interested in.
I'm trying to think what other aspects. I think the conversation with the black immigrant business owner was great, especially now
Yeah.
as like there's kind of this tension towards black immigrants that come over legally
From Matt Walsh's show.
from Matt Walsh's show, ironically, and him talking to that dude and him saying like, no, we just got to love each other. Like, I just read my Bible every day. I don't read white fragility. Like, I thought that moment was really powerful.
Yeah.
I
think a lot of the stuff where he was talking to real people
was really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
So I think talking to the far left libs that need to be exposed, whatever.
Yeah.
Really funny stuff, but it's draining a little bit.
You think so? I find it super entertaining.
I find it really entertaining,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like I don't just want a compilation of that. So I feel like how they weaved in the stories with the actual people
Yeah.
was a breath of fresh air
Yes.
because it was outside of the realm.
It shows
of,
you what normal people believe.
Yes, and it went outside the realm of like the Daily Wire, what the Daily Wire people believe versus what these people believe
Yes.
versus like and like hearing the actual people and the humor and like these people having to explain what they believe
Yes.
around this
Yes.
was really entertaining. So I felt like that was I felt calm through that. And I will also note that I've been cutting back my caffeine intake, but I drank. And I would argue, chugged a whole mate.
So you was there expecting an action movie. This man was.
Dude, I'm sitting there like this. Alrighty, let's go. I'm like, my heart's racing. I'm like, oh wow.
Zach thought he was about to see Fast and Furious.
I was kind of
17.
I was kind of tweaking.
Yeah, he was hyped up. Okay, so those are all the great things. I think generally it's a good movie.
But
A couple things I didn't like. I'll get into some personal stuff in a moment. As someone that's grown up predominantly around black people, my wife is black. Most of my family is black. Out of the 8 funerals I've been to, 2 of them have been of unarmed black men killed by police, teenagers killed by police. So I'll get to some of that in a minute, and the shift that's happened there, which is actually crazy. Like the actual shift amongst not woke liberals, white liberals, but like black folks is very interesting. So I'll come back to that. From a technical standpoint, I think me and you agree that it ends kind of rushed and awkward.
abruptly.
I wanted him to see. I was with you in that you were saying he should have went through with the self.
Flagellation.
That would have been great if it would have ended the film in that. You made that point.
So I feel like everything where Matt Walsh is acting, or not acting, but like playing the character in a prank sense was really good.
Mm-hmm.
There was not a single scene where he is pretending to be this character in a real situation that wasn't entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I would say even one of the best scenes was like this little callback that at the very end, the end credits, after the credits rolled, the very end scene, really funny. Where it fell short, like all the little segue, kind of like little scripted, like we're in our little movie set bits.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, necessary, but like I'm not entertained. Like it wasn't as strong. I feel like there was a really good retention to the idea you're watching someone and then you're wondering what everyone else is gonna do. And so as the movie went on, it was really good, and it got to this really tense moment where he's leading this thing, and then he's just kind of just I don't want to spoil it, but it ends abruptly, and then it finishes out with a scripted segment.
Weird.
That was probably about 5 minutes long.
Yeah,
it was like, oh,
that was weird.
And I felt like he got to a really good place with that footage, and they kind of I think they should have continued. I think they should have finished the film out. I'm trying to do as much as I can without spoiling. I think they should have finished the film out in the same lane of like this whole movie. He's played a character undercover and is acting as a DEI agent.
Yep.
I think they should have let that play out and talk to people with opposite perspective. That's gonna reel him back in.
Yep.
And like that's kind of how it ends versus kind of like the scripted scene.
Yeah. So I didn't like that. I thought that the consistent motif of like people get paid for their stuff was weird, because the whole point of capitalism is create a product, a service that solves a problem, and exploit that in the raw sense, exploit that and make money off of it. So this whole idea of like all these people are appearing in your movie and you got to pay them. Yeah, they're gonna get paid for their thing. Now, if it's a grift or not, if they truly believe this stuff or not, is irrelevant to me, right? Yeah. And so like the lady whose kid didn't get the high five from the mascot. Yeah. She's not a public figure. She's not an influencer. She's not an author. Yeah. Why would she come on your thing for free?
Yeah, but she came on for 50 grand.
Okay. Props. Good for her. Yeah. Get your bag. Well, so this idea of like people getting their bag off of the things they believe, again, I'm being charitable. Yeah. I'm being charitable. I think folks really believe this nonsense.
So you think that mom was not in it for a lawsuit, but I was actually like, my kids
I don't know. I think she's probably been indoctrinated by some of this race baiting nonsense, and she really believes what she believes. So folks like that, I'm not mad at them for making money while you're making a film making money off of them.
Yeah. Matt Walsh did an episode where he explained it, and it made sense how he explained it. So
it was weird that Robin DiAngelo charged less than her.
Less than the other lady?
Yep. Yeah. That was weird. Robin DiAngelo charged $15K. That workshop they went to, that in the thing was $30K. Yeah. That was interesting. Yeah. You know? So I think these people were probably not cautious and then just completely got duped to be a part of this film. So that was a little weird. Okay, now let me give you guys a little context on me.
Do you think this helps those people's businesses real quick? Do you think it helps their businesses?
No, Robin DiAngelo took all of her stuff offline. She doesn't have a social media profile. She took all that stuff down. No, I think this is devastating to her.
Race to the dinner?
All of that. None of that was in a good light.
No, but do you think there's people that are like so anti Matt Walsh and anti the right that they see that scene and they're like, I think
first of all, we already know, or we should know, that DEI does more harm than good. DEI training makes people more hostile towards the differences they have with other races. Yeah. That's fairly documented. So that in and of itself is expose it. Yeah. What makes someone a grifter is being disingenuous about pushing forward a narrative you don't really believe. Yeah. And there's folks like this on the right. Don't get it twisted. Oh, yeah. There's definitely folks that all of a sudden they became conservative and they had all the views.
I mean, we just saw the thing with the Russia situation.
Right.
These dudes being getting paid out and they're like, I mean,
100,000 a video.
I kind of feel this way about that stuff anyway. Right. So I'll do it.
Right. So I don't do the appeal to motive fallacy. Yeah. I assume, probably to a fault, maybe I'm naive in this, that people believe the things that they promote. I don't start with a presupposition that someone is grifting because they're charging for their stuff. I don't do that. Yeah. I don't do that. I don't think that's helpful. I don't think that's charitable. I don't think that's good faith. I think Robin DiAngelo really believes this nonsense. I think Kim D really believes this nonsense. I think people really believe this stuff. So if people really believe this stuff and they want to be, and their rate is their rate, and you're making a movie, making money off of them, their rate is their rate. You know what I mean? Good for them. You made money off of it. They made money off of it. Everybody's better off, in my opinion.
Robin DiAngelo donated her $15,000 to.
Did she really?
Yeah, black lawyers and something.
A grift requires deception. If they believe what they are saying, it's not deception, just wrong. 100%. Yep. 100%. If there's conflict within yourself about something and you're still doing it, and listen, the whole conversation around is an appeal to motive fallacy. Yeah. Because you're appealing to know what white people feel about black people. White people that don't say anything hostile of black people are dismissed as having whiteness, white supremacy, and dealing within a structure. And then you get into, well, what is whiteness, white supremacy? And you start finding stuff, and this is all true, that punctuality is white supremacy, that work ethic is white supremacy. So all of those things are just completely incomprehensible and incoherent in terms of arguments.
And a lot of those things he's bringing up with these experts and they're agreeing to them. He's taking them to the logical conclusions,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, yeah, you're right. But yeah, I think that's crazy.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And be sure to check out this video that YouTube is recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.